Another turning point, the fork stuck in the road. Time grabs you by the wrist, directs you where to go. Hello everybody and welcome to the really fun part of the course. Once we can use our thumb, what we're now going to do is actually focus on the Jimi Hendrix style. And this is also a style that John Mayer, especially when he plays Jimi Hendrix covers, you can hear how he took this style even further. And I really like his covers and the style that he plays Jimi. So without further ado, let's start and deconstruct about what is this Jimi Hendrix style is made out of. And then we're later going to talk practically about how to get each one of those ideas into your playing. The main thing, however, that I want you to remember, at least that's how I work personally, is that try to take some of his stuff and just, generally with any other guitar hero that you like and try to learn stuff out of, try to take some out of his stuff and make it your own. Take it into your own style and don't just try to be a clone. But I think that's what really cool about guitar is that you take some from here, some from there, from this guy and this guy, in anything, in any instrument, not just guitar, and then it becomes a mix that is your own, and of course you mix it with yourself. And the bottom line, in my opinion, is taking from his style not only to play his songs, but you can later go ahead and take some of his styles and take a bit from here, a bit from there. And especially my favorite bit is taking the double stop riffs, for example, and taking his groove and using it on other songs. So for example, let me show you how I take the Green Day song, Time of Your Life, and play it in a Hendrix style. Another turning point, the fork stuck in the road. Time grabs you by the wrist, directs you where to go. Tattoos of memories of days skin on top. Da 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 da. So let's begin. The main two ingredients that I want to address first are, first of all, the unique groove, the unique spanky vibe, the unique sound that Jimi Hendrix uses, and I have a whole lesson about that for you to watch. And for example, you can hear it in Hey Joe, Crosstown Traffic, The Wind Cries Mary, Little Wing, Bold as Love, really almost any song that you can think of. He uses the same vibe. By the way, my guitar is tuned a half step down because that's how he is playing all the time, or most of the time. So I highly recommend do it as well. Now, just at least in the first couple of times, just so you get the idea of how he felt. And when you tune the guitar down, just make sure to double tune it again, go over all the strings again, because they tend to get out of tune easily. And by the way, when you tune the guitar a half step down, so it's also easier to play, easier to press down the strings, easier to bend, but it also gives you that lower pitch, and it also gives that loose feeling that he had in his sound. So to get that feeling, let's tune it half step down and let's begin. And as I said, let's first talk about the groove, and the groove sounds like this. That spank immediately followed by a mute, and again, watch the full lesson about it to really understand how to do it. That's the first main ingredient. And the second main ingredient is the way that he combines lead playing in his rhythm playing, and that was revolutionary at the time. He did steal it a little bit from Curtis Mayfield before him, so everyone, even the guitar heroes, had their own heroes that they took from. But the way he combines lead in his guitar playing is when, for example, in the intro to Little Wing, he goes. So instead of just playing, instead of just having one guitar playing, and then another guitar doing, and then doing nothing in between. So instead of one guitar playing lead and one guitar playing rhythm, he plays those riffs in between the chords. And this is what I'm going to show you also in one of the next lessons. And when we are talking about combining the lead with the rhythm, many people who followed him did that. But what his style was unique in, besides obviously, his phrasing, and this is something that you really got to listen to him a lot in order to take and to learn. And it's true for the whole video. Really, there is no substitute, no tabs or nothing else will teach you as well as listening to him and just transcribing it by ear and start playing it, finding where it is on your guitar and playing it. Now back to the lead playing when it's combined with the rhythm. So what's very unique about his style and was revolutionary at the time is that he was playing not just combining the lead, but that he was playing what's also called today double stops, which means that instead of, let's say, playing this riff, so what he would do is become aggressive, be aggressive on that riff and play two strings, sometimes even three strings at the same time by, those powerful, usually it's downstrokes and not upstrokes. So that's really, taking out the juice out of the strings and out of the riffs and really making them sound really cool and full. So that's one of the really main ingredients of his sound. Other than that, his other ingredients, these were the two main ones in my opinion. His other ingredients in his sounds are obviously his sound. He has a very distinct sound in his guitar, which, as you can see, I am not a huge fan of. I also don't have the Stratocaster, so I like playing in his style, but with my own sound on this 335 guitar. If you want to learn more about how to get that precise sound, so I am linking in the attached PDF to some really good lessons about everything that made his sound, starting from the unique gauge of strings that he were using. He was using standard gauge strings on the bottom, but his bass strings were very, very thin. So this is one ingredient. He was using the fuzz pedal a lot, and he was using Marshall amps, and obviously the Stratocaster. So if you want to learn more about this kind of style, check out the links below. Another thing that is very important in order to get his style is to play with the thumb from above, because this is what opens up most of those riffs for you when you have this pinky free, so you can play it. So really make sure that you have this thumb nailed down before you approach this style, or while you do it, but keep working on the thumb exercises as well. And another thing that makes Jimi's style is his choice of chords. So he has some distinct chords that he liked using. And again, these chords are a lot about the fact that they make you able to play all those cool riffs in between them. So for example, one of them is the sixth chord. For example, this one right here. And when you play the sixth chord, it is almost inevitable, when you're thinking about the Jimi style, that you will add, instead of just playing this E chord in the first inversion, that you will also add kind of riffs. So this is it. These are the main ingredients of the Jimi Hendrix sound deconstructed. First of all is the spanky groove. Ta, ta. Full lesson about this below. Then it's all about combining the lead playing with the rhythm playing, and when playing the lead combined in the rhythm, playing those double stops that we talked about. Other than that, his choice of chords, that especially are chords that enable you to play all those riffs. Also, his choice and unique sound, which comes from his guitar, from the amps that he was using, and also the fact that his guitar was tuned a half step down. So usually, for example, when you will read chord sheets and they will say C on a Jimi Hendrix song, if you will play it just next to the original recording, so you will see that he is playing a half step below. So usually the chord sheets would say the correct chords if you already tuned it down a half step if you want to match the original recording. So tune your guitar down a half step. That's the bottom line. Anyway, this is it. I'm just reminding you again, no substitute for listening, and then transcribing it and taking it from the recording into your guitar. Have a great time, and I will see you in the next lessons. Goodbye.